Injuries, though, they show that we had a good time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
So, did you hear about the results from the KU student election?
I did. I hear there was a little controversy,
Yeah.
but in the end, I believe Maddie Womack won.
Yep, the one KU, I believe they got challenged. The results were challenged, but they ended up being the winners. So yeah, ended up well for them. The KU relays were obviously this weekend. We had a Olympic shot putter here in town. Yeah, he was. I believe he won. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and he won, I think, $4,000.
Wow.
I read an article that he was going to start cashing the checks in the back of his car like Happy Gilmore.
That's awesome.
Yep, but he loved Lawrence, thought the vibe was good, and said he'd continue coming back, which is pretty awesome.
He said something like, you can't find an atmosphere like this anywhere in America for track and field, so that's awesome.
Which is understandable. I mean, we're here. We kind of bring out the good vibes.
The Jayhawks know how to react.
Yep. Yeah. And then we had our March for Science this past weekend. Yeah. I mean, do you know anything about science? I mean, you're a biology major.
I am a biology major, so I know a little bit about science. Maybe not as much as I'd like to yet, but yeah, definitely.
You weren't out there protesting. You didn't make a sign supporting.
I did not. You can see we have some footage of it, though. It definitely looks like it got pretty intense. Lots of people showed up for it.
I did hear that the person that ran this event was an alum here.
Really?
And it was to say that science betters our lives.
Well, I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
I heard they had over 5,000 people show up, so that's impressive numbers. And it was a nonpartisan protest, so it was just everyone was out there in support of science.
It looks like they have a nice little concert thing going, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know it. We'll throw it now to Courtney with our guest.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas. A great place to be you.
Welcome back. I'm Courtney Johnson, and I'm here with our special guest, Cal Busher. He is the director of Media Crossroads, and he was also the PA announcer at the KU Relays. And this past weekend, we had the KU Relays, and it was our 90th KU Relay. So, Cal, could you tell us, how were the journalism students involved?
Yeah, we have a lot of journalism students that get involved in the relays. Everything from production to competing to covering the events. I'll try and think of them all. One of the other announcers with me is Derek Johnson, who is a former student, and he now works for KLWN, but he's also the voice of KU volleyball team. So he was able to do all the awards and some of the calling. The meet is covered by Flow Track, so we had the playmakers out there. They were the talent for Flow Track, so if you were watching online anywhere in the world, you heard Griffin Hughes and Nick Cousin and Kevin Gray calling all the races, so that was really fun. Rock Chalk Video produced the television on Saturday that goes out over Time Warner, and we have a whole number of students who work for Time Warner who go out there, which actually called Spectrum now, and we even had athletes that were running in the relays, so it's definitely a J-School event.
So, how did the students sign up to be in the KU Relays? Well, to be a part of the KU Relays.
Just being involved and being willing to go out and do that. The KU Relays used to be a huge event on campus. 20, 30, 40 years ago, obviously this is the 90th year, but there weren't so many things going on campus all the time. So I think that the Relays was the one big spring event. All the sororities and fraternities would have carnivals and booths set up on Jayhawk Boulevard, and there'd be a parade. And basically the whole campus and the whole town would stop for the KU Relays weekend. Now that we're out at Rock Chalk Park, it's not such a big deal. It's athletes wanting to go out there, and it's people wanting to be involved. But you know, our students, the playmakers, they are the sports arm of the J School, and they want to be doing this for a living. So they were really excited to get to go and and call the races. Other students volunteer shifts for 210 class, You know, they have to work on it and they get to learn production, and they just want to be involved.
Yeah. So volunteering for the KU relays could also help the students in the J School for a part of some of their classes, or does it give them any credit for it? Do you know? Because you do teach 210, so could you tell us about that?
Students in 210 do have to work shifts, so they sign up for things throughout the year, and the relays are just one of many things that they can do. We do KU softball. We have students out covering every sport. So the students that they're out there for track, I mean, track's one of those different events. It's all day for 4 days, so it's a commitment. But you know, we have some great students. Katie Trigg is one that comes to mind. She's out there because she ran track in high school. Her team from St. Louis was here running in the relays, so she wanted to be out there, so she came out on her own early and did a live report for Good Morning KU on Friday from there. So it's just a great way to get involved. And it's kind of cool as well. Another thing is we have athletes on the track team who are in journalism classes. So they're not necessarily working the media side of it, but we get to see them on the track doing things. Taryn Temple's a triple jumper. Megan Linder was running on the track. So it was really fun to see a lot of that. So it's just a good weekend.
So do the students that are athletes, how do they cover their shifts if they're in need, if they're actually on the track running? How can they also get involved?
A lot of athletes want to be journalists because they're used to being covered by journalists and interviewed by journalists, so that's something that they want to do. But it is tough. Athletics takes a lot of time. Journalism, probably more than any other major, takes a lot of time because you have to do the research, you've got to be at the event, then you have to come back and put it together. So they both take up a lot of time, but the ones that are successful are the ones that will just make that commitment. And if they have track on Thursday and Friday, maybe they're going to go cover softball or baseball on Sunday.
Do you have any advice for anyone that is trying to volunteer?
Get involved, volunteer. We are always looking for students to help. We're going to offer a class in just sports production. It's J210 Sports. And if you're interested, just come and see me and we'll get you signed up.
Thank you, Cal, for being with us today, and we'll be back with the news.
Welcome back. I'm Becky Phelps, and this is your Good Morning KU News Update. The French election started yesterday with Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron advancing to the runoff. Neither candidate is from a major political party. The losing candidates have rallied around Macron to prevent the far-right candidate Le Pen from winning. And it's a busy week in Washington as well, with President Donald Trump's first 100 days coming to an end. Congress must agree upon a budget by Friday. Trump said he expects massive tax cuts. If a budget is not agreed upon, there will be a government shutdown. If you were planning on going to a KU game, you may want to leave the heat at home. KU is passing a new policy to help keep students safe at sporting events next year. Dan Garrett tells us more on what changes they are making. Dan?
Even though guns will be allowed on campus next year, a new policy will prevent those guns from being allowed into sporting events. KU expects to spend around $1 million to add metal detectors and more security to sporting facilities that have more than 5,000 visitors to a game. Associate Professor Jim Marciani says that they wanted to make these changes before something happened.
Right, we're trying to be proactive with this, and speed with which the fans can get into the venue, and so we think it's a smart thing to do.
KU senior Caitlin Shoemaker says that having the band will be a good thing for students.
I think here at KU, sporting events are always something that's fun and relaxing for students, so I think it'll be good to keep them safe in a safe atmosphere for students to come and enjoy a game.
In addition to guns not being allowed to sporting events, fans will no longer be able to bring purses to the game as well. Only see-through bags will be allowed inside. For KUJH, I'm Dan Garrett.
Thanks, Dan. A business league has been formed to protect KU's fraternity houses. The Kansas Fraternity Landlords League protects 10 houses and over 1,000 residents. The league has been discussed for many years to protect the multi-billion-dollar investments. The KU Student Senate elections may finally be over. the Court of Appeals rejected KU United's request that Maddie Womack of 1KU be disqualified. The election results are expected to be certified tomorrow. And KU has announced plans to remove the J Hot Grocer on Daisy Hill. The grocer was not bringing in enough funds to be worth keeping open. The grocer will be replaced with a roastery. And that does it for today's news updates. Stick around and Brittany Foster will be back with the weather.
3, 2, 1, and camera 2.
All right, guys, welcome back.
Welcome to Media Crossroads. Located on the second floor of Anschutz Library sits an immersive learning experience like no other. So what is Media Crossroads? A chance to try something new.
Okay, that's good.
The opportunity to step in and learn. Going behind the scenes, or maybe giving it a shot in front of the camera.
Good evening, guys, and welcome into Playmaker Central. I'm Lydia Taylor.
Under the direction of instructor Cal Butcher, Media Crossroads provides students with the chance to learn by doing.
You're going to start here just so see that you're on.
So what is Media Crossroads? Well, stop by. Come see for yourself.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning KU. We are coming out of a lovely weekend. We had temperatures in the 70s and nice blue skies that allowed us to warm up to those nice temperatures. It was also Earth Day on Saturday, so it was nice. You could do outdoor stuff that was all through the week because of Earth Day. And it looks like those nice temperatures are going to go into this week on Monday. So Al right now is outside. Al, can you give us an update on how the weather is?
Hey Brittany, yeah, right now it's a little windy outside, but it's sunny and beautiful, but the wind is a bit aggressive today, so for those ladies out there with the long hair, it would be best to tie it up.
Yes, definitely. I know when I was walking here, my hair was just going all across my face, and you said it looks like we had those nice blue skies like the weekend had too, right?
Yeah, barely any clouds right now. It's beautiful out here.
Nice. How does the temperature feel? Is it a little chilly because of those winds?
Yeah, it's a little chilly, so a light jacket would be good, but other than that, it's beautiful and sunny and warm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Al, for the live update outside.
Yep, thank you.
So let's move on to our weather headlines for this week. Another interesting week ahead for us, especially rain-wise. We're going to have a warm start to the week, but we're going to have a quick cool down in temperatures. We're going to go from 70s down to even 50 later this week. More rain, like I said, that will return eventually. Here's your current weather. We have mostly sunny skies, like Al said. Pretty nice outside. Blue skies start off, barely any clouds. Temperature is 62 degrees because of those, like, barely any clouds. Southeast wind is at 10 miles per hour now, but it's going to quickly pick up, as we saw, to about 25 miles per hour. So it's going to get even windier today. Hardly to imagine. 76 degrees also is going to be your high for today, probably the warmest day of the week as well. Here's your hour by hour of the wind. It looks like between 3 to 5 p.m. is when we're going to see the max speed in the wind. So definitely, if you have a hat on, hold on to that hat, or just hold on to everything, because it's going to be very windy. Have your hair up if you have long hair as well. Here's your hour by hour for temperatures. We're going to have a quick increase in the temperatures as well. We're going to have that max probably hit around 5 p.m. today of 76, so pretty nice day overall, just very windy overall in general. Here's your 5-day forecast. It looks like by Tuesday we're going to have a high of 78 degrees. Nice start to the day, although at the end of the day we're going to have some storms move in across the night, but mainly it's going to hit in Wednesday. And you see in Wednesday when those storms are going to roll in, we had that big drop in the temperatures to about 56 degrees. We're going to warm up a little bit going into 65 on Thursday. It's going to be pretty nice. But then again, that temperature rolls around on Friday with a temperature of 66 degrees. Again, we had that Royals game on Friday, but if you look at your weekend forecast, Saturday we're going to have more rain. Just going to be a very wet weekend. 63 degrees for your Saturday, 58 on Sunday. Sporting KC and the Royals game on Saturday are probably going to be pretty wet, so if you're going, just make sure you have that proper rain gear with you. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning KU. We'll be back with the hosts.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. Quite a bit certainly went on at KU recently. There's a lot of people up in arms about the new ban on purses and guns at KU sporting events. What do you think of it?
I don't know about the purses, but I like the guns, obviously. I feel like it's a bit more safe of an environment.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. I think the purse rule is a little ridiculous. I think it could be understandable that maybe you have your purse searched, but a whole entire ban on purses is a little absurd.
I know that they are up in the security there. Lots of metal
definitely.
detectors, too.
If there's any event that's expected to draw over 5,000 people, they're going to have extra security there, too. I know they're going to allow for clear purses and like bags that are see-through, but I think that's a little excessive.
Yeah, I know it's at Allen Fieldhouse and Memorial Stadium. I don't know if they're going to put in place at any other.
I do agree with the ban on the guns, though. I think that could be dangerous in a big crowd atmosphere with a lot of excitement going on, that guns could be dangerous in that scenario.
Yeah, especially with places that are going to continue drawing big people.
Yeah, lots of crowds. Lots of excitement. That's usually a recipe for something bad to happen. Yeah. Well, we'll be back with you next week. Thank you for watching.